Hello grade 9 students. Today we're going to discuss a new topic which is all about the theorems on trapezoids and kites. Mel proves theorems on trapezoids and kites, and for the learning objectives we have number 1, determine the properties of trapezoids and kites, proves theorems on trapezoids and kites, and solves problems involving trapezoids and kites. So, what is a trapezoid? A trapezoid is a quadrilateral with only one pair of parallel sides. The midsegment of a trapezoid is a line segment that connects the midpoints of the non-parallel sides. So, EF is the midsegment. Okay. Otherwise, you can also name it as median. Okay, aside from midsegment. So, and also we have what are the parts of trapezoids? The bases. There are two bases of the trapezoids. The upper of the trapezoid, the bases, the upper base BC and the lower base AD. And these are parallel. So, ito yung tinatawag na yun, only one pair parallel sides. Whereas yung non-parallel sides of trapezoids, BA and CD, these are what we call the legs. Alright. And for us to call EF as the median or the mid-segment of trapezoids, point E should be the midpoint of BA and point F should be the midpoint of CD. So consider the quadrilateral ABCD shown in the figure below. The bases are the parallel sides, BC and AD are the bases. The legs are the non-parallel sides, AB and CD. The base angles, a pair of angles whose common side is a base. Angle B and angle C, angle A and angle D are called the base angles of the trapezoid. Okay, let's discuss the properties of trapezoid. A pair of sides is parallel. BC is means parallel to AD. BC is parallel to AD. Number 2, a pair of angles whose common side is a leg are supplementary. Yan. So yung tinatawag nating base angles, these are supplementary. That means their sum is 180 degrees. So angle A plus angle B equals 180 degrees. Angle D plus measure of angle C equals 180 degrees. Sorry. A plus B was 180, C plus D is 180. Yan. Angle A plus angle B 180, angle C plus angle D 180 degrees. Number 3. The median, yes, segment joining the midpoints of the legs, is parallel to the bases, and its measure is the sum of the lengths of the bases. So that means yung median, its length can be determined by just adding the lengths of the upper base and the lower base divided by 2. So EF is equal to BC plus AD, 1/2 the product of BC and AD. Yan. Next, what is an isosceles trapezoid? An isosceles trapezoid is a kind of trapezoid wherein the legs are congruent, yung non-parallel sides niya. So if the bases, the legs are congruent, it's called an isosceles trapezoid. So EF is congruent to GH. Yan. So what are the properties of an isosceles trapezoid? Okay. Number 1, congruent legs. EF is congruent to HG. And number 2, congruent diagonals also in isosceles trapezoid. Pero pag hindi isosceles, hindi congruent ang diagonals niya. So FH is congruent to GE. Yes, because these are the two diagonals. Number 3, congruent base angles. Angle EFG is congruent to angle FGH. Angle FEH is congruent to angle GHE. So the base angles in an isosceles trapezoid are congruent. Right? Yeah. So you can screenshot on this part so that you can be able to memorize the different properties of an isosceles trapezoid. Number 1, equal legs, congruent legs, congruent diagonals, and congruent base angles. We have also here the theorems on trapezoids. A, trapezoid midsegment theorem. The midsegment of a trapezoid is parallel to the bases, and its measure is half the sum of the lengths of the bases. So given trapezoid ABCD, the midpoints of AB is E, and the midpoint of CD is F respectively. And EF is the midsegment of find the following. Okay, midsegment can also be replaced by median. So midsegment, median, pareho lang yan. So if BE is equal to 4, find AE. Yes, it's also equal to 4. Yes, because point E is the midpoint of AB. B is equal to EA. So if B is 4, A is also equal to 4. Next, if FD is 6, find CD. It's also 6. Yes. Wait, sorry. CF pala yun. If FD is 6, what is CD? Yes, the whole length of the leg CD pala yun. That's CF. So since FD is 6, CF is also 6. They are congruent because point F is the midpoint. Therefore, CD is 6 plus 6, that means 12, or 2 times 6. Yes. Next, if BC is equal to 14 in the same figure, if BC is 14, AD is 18, find the length of EF. Yan na yung sinasabi natin kanina. Okay, the length of the median of a trapezoid is 1/2 the sum of its bases. So BC is the upper base, AD is the lower base. So 14 plus 18, 32 divided by 2. Yan, 32 divided by 2 is 16. EF is equal to 16. Alright. Next. If BC is 8, EF is 12, find AD. Okay, this time the length of the median is given. 12 tapos 8 doon. What is the length of the lower base? So same procedure pa rin. Same formula. You can then substitute. 12 is equal to 1/2 times the product of times the sum of 8 and AD. So 24 multiply 12 by 2, 24. 24 minus 8 is 16. Therefore AC 6, AD 16, di ba? Tama, 16. AD is equal to 16. The length of AD is 16. So that 8 plus 16, 24 divided by 2 is 12. Next, if BC is x plus 3, wait, can we just make it, move it upward. Okay, if BC is x plus 3, here, AD is x3x plus 5, EF is 32, find x. So we can apply here the formula and finding the length of the median of a trapezoid. You substitute. EF is equal to 1/2 times the quantity BC plus AD. Substitution. 32 is equal to 1/2 times the quantity x plus 3 plus 3x plus 5. Then simplify inside the bracket. X plus 3, x 4, x 3 plus 5, 8. Then multiply both sides by 2, 64. Making 64 na yan. 64 equals 4x plus 8. Then 64 minus 8 is 56 divided by 4. 56 divided by 4 is equal to 14. Therefore, x is equal to 14. Then, pag nahanap mo na yung x, BC and AD, BC, just substitute x here to solve for BC. 14 plus 3, 17. Ito naman, 14 times 3 plus 5. So 17 yung BC. And for AD, 3x plus 5, since x is 14, 3 times 14, 42 plus 5 is equal to 47. Ayan. Right? So that's 17 plus 47 is 64 divided by 2. So therefore, EF, the median, is 32. Next, if CF is equal to x minus 2, FD is 2x minus 8, find x, CF, and FD. I think they are equal. We're going to equate. Yan. CF is equal to FD because point F is the midpoint. So I'll solve for x now here. Negative x equals 10. So x minus 2x or 2x minus xx. Negative 2. Dapat minus 8 yun, no? Skip natin. There's something wrong here. 2x minus x, ito pa dapat negative to. Negative 8 minus unless it's minus. Doon pala nagkamali, no? Sorry for that. Kasi dapat minus to, not plus. Ayan, medyo nalito ako. Let's continue. Okay. Saan na tayo? Yan. So, dito sa letter F. So, equal yung CF and FD. So, x minus 2 is equal to 2x minus 8. So, 8. Okay. So, negative 8 dyan. Pupunta sa left side, magiging positive 8. 2x minus x equal to 8 minus 2. Therefore, x is equal to 6. So, you can now solve for CF and FD. CF is 4, while FD is 12 minus 8, 14. So, as you can see, they are equal. CF and FD are both equal to 4 units. Next, given trapezoid ABCD. Okay, in the figure, M and N are the midpoints of AB and DC, respectively. Prove MN is equal to 1/2 BC plus A, 1/2 times the quantity BC plus AD. So to prove this, we're going to have a plan, plot diagonal AC, and apply the triangle midline theorem. Yan. So proof, we're going to use here the proof using statements and reasons. So for number 1, trapezoid ABC, M and N are midpoints of AB and DC respectively, given yan. For number 2, plot AC with O as a midpoint, unique midpoint theorem. Any segment has exactly one midpoint. That's correct. So from the figure, number 3, MO here. MO is parallel to BC. That's correct. Therefore, MO is 1/2 BC. Yan, ginagamit natin dito yung from our previous lesson. Quarter 2, triangle midline theorem. That's correct. Also, ON is parallel to AD. Therefore, ON is 1/2 the length of AD. Triangle midline theorem also. And number 5, BC is parallel to AD. Definition of trapezoid. There is only one pair of parallel sides in trapezoid. Number 6, ON is parallel to BC. Yan. Two distinct parallel lines are the same lines are two distinct lines parallel to the same line are parallel. M, O, N are collinear. Okay, parallel lines postulate through a point or not on a given line, there is exactly one line parallel to the given line. Number 8, MN is parallel to BC. Correct? MN is also parallel to AD. MN contains MO and ON. Therefore, number 9, MN is MO plus ON, because O is the midpoint. O is between N and M. Number 10, MN is 1/2 BC plus 1/2 AD. Definition of betweenness. And by factoring, MN therefore is equal to 1/2 times the quantity BC plus AD. So from here, we have already proven the formula in finding the length of the midpoint of a trapezoid. Next, a trapezoid is isosceles if and only if the base angles are congruent. This theorem consists of two parts. A, if a trapezoid is isosceles, then the base angles are congruent. This can be stated as base angles of an isosceles trapezoid are congruent. And for B, if the base angles are congruent, then the trapezoid is isosceles. Examples, in trapezoid ABCD, AB is congruent to DC. Correct? Yes. Kasi base angles nga sila, they are congruent because it's an isosceles trapezoid. AD is AB is congruent to DC. Yes, congruent legs. Tapos AD is parallel to BC. That's correct. So that's a trapezoid, isosceles trapezoid. Now if AB is 12, find DC. Of course, it's also 12. They are congruent. The legs are congruent in an isosceles trapezoid. If angle ABC is 60 degrees, find angle DCB. It's also 60 degrees because these are base angles. They are congruent. Yeah, 60 degrees din. Next, letter C. If angle BAD is 135 degrees, find the measure of angle ADC. Here, angle BAD. BAD, this one. 135 degrees, an obtuse angle. What's the measure of angle ADC? It's also 135 degrees because they are base angles, they are congruent. Yes. And letter D, if measure of angle A is 2x plus 4, angle D is 4x minus 12, find x, angle A and angle D. Yes, they are base angles, so they are congruent. So we're going to equate 2x plus 4 equals 4x minus 12. Negative 2x equals negative 16, that means x is equal to 8. Yeah, if x is equal to 8, what's the measure of angle A? It's 20. 16 plus 4, 20. For angle D, 8 times 4, 32 minus 12, 20 rin. They are both equal to 20. 20 degrees. Yan, 20. They're both equal to 20 degrees. Yan. Number 2, given isosceles trapezoid ABCD, AD is parallel to BC, AE is parallel to DC. Prove that angle B is congruent to angle C. Angle BAD is congruent to angle D. Yan. So, plot AE parallel to DC to form parallelogram AECD. So that DC is congruent to AE is congruent to AB. Also, angle B here is congruent to angle C. Yes, because they are base angles. Because angle AEB is congruent to angle C. And angle B is congruent to angle AEB. Yan. Yes, kasi isosceles triangle din yan, angle AEB. Then, angle BAD is congruent to angle D because they are supplements, congruence angles B and C. So, ito na yung two-way proof consisting of statements and reason. For number 1, isosceles trapezoid ABCD, AD is parallel to BC, A is parallel to DC, given. Let's draw AC parallel to DC, intercepting BC at E. Parallel lines postulate. Okay. AECD is a parallelogram, definition of parallelogram. Okay. DC is congruent to AE. Opposite sides of parallelogram are congruent. AB is congruent to DC. Given. AB is equal to A, congruent to AE, transitivity. Triangle AB is isosceles. Definition of isosceles triangles. That is AE and AB are congruent. That means if two sides are equal in a triangle, it's an isosceles. Angle B is congruent to angle AEB. Isosceles triangle theorem, base angles of an isosceles triangle are congruent. Angle AEB is congruent to angle C. Two parallel lines are cut by transversal, then the corresponding angles are congruent. Angle B is congruent to angle C. Transitivity. Okay, from here, both are equal to angle AEB. So, angle B is congruent to angle EC. Transitivity. Angle BAD and angle B are supplementary. Angle C and angle D are supplementary. So, two parallel lines are cut by transversal. Then the interior angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. Angle BAD is congruent to angle D. Congruent supplements theorem. Supplements of congruent angles are congruent. Okay. Letter C. The diagonals of an isosceles trapezoids are congruent. This theorem consists of two parts. If a trapezoid is isosceles, the diagonals are congruent. If the diagonals are congruent, the trapezoid is isosceles. Example. In trapezoid ABCD, diagonals AC and BD are congruent, of course, because they are isosceles. If AC is 15, find BD. It's also 15, yes, because they are congruent. Next, for B, if AC is congruent to BD, yes, because they are diagonals. AB is x plus 2. This is 2x minus 8. Find x, AB, and DC. How's this? AB is congruent to, is equal to DC. AC. Wait. This should be ano. AC is congruent to BD. AB. Hindi pa. Medyo nagkamali dito na nasulat natin, no? Still. Yan. Okay, AC is congruent to BD. So, therefore, AC to. AC. Okay, edit lang natin, ha. Oh, ayan na. Okay, for letter B, if AC is congruent to BD, yes, these are the two diagonals of an isosceles trapezoid ABCD. Of course, they are congruent. Now, if AC is x plus 2, BD or DB is 2x minus 8, find x, AC, and DB. So, since these are the diagonals, they are congruent. So, AC is equal to DB. So, we're going to equate x plus 2 equals 2x minus 8. Then, solving for x, 2x minus x equal to 8 plus 2, 10. Therefore, x is equal to 10. What is now the length of AC? 10 plus 2, 12. Then, what's the length of DB? 20 minus 8. It's also equal to 12. So, as you can see, AC and DB are equal. Okay. The diagonals are congruent in an isosceles trapezoid. 2. Given isosceles trapezoid ABCD, prove AC is congruent to BD. So, this is the proof of the property of trapezoid. Diagonals of trapezoid, isosceles trapezoid are equal. So, statements and reason. Number 1, ABCD is an isosceles trapezoid given. AD is congruent to BC. Definition of isosceles trapezoid. There's only one pair of the legs are congruent in an isosceles trapezoid. Angle ADC is congruent to angle BCD. Yes, base angles of an isosceles trapezoid are congruent. CD is congruent to DC, reflexive property. Triangle ADC is congruent to triangle BCD, SAS congruence postulate. AC, number 6, AC is congruent to BD, CP, CTC. Corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Yun. That's the proof. Next, D. If a trapezoid is isosceles, then opposite angles are supplementary. Remember that the supplementary angles are angles of sum of two angles is equal to 180 degrees. So here trapezoid ABCD again. Example, in trapezoid ABCD, angle A and angle C are supplementary. Yes. Angle B and angle D are supplementary. By the way, this is an isosceles trapezoid. The legs are equal. So the base angles of an isosceles trapezoid are supplementary. Now, if angle A is 110 degrees, what's the measure of angle C? Okay, angle A plus angle C is equal to 180 degrees. Yan. 110 plus angle C equals 180 degrees. 180 minus 110 is 70 degrees. Measure of angle C is 70 degrees. Yan. Next, angle B, 3x plus 4. Angle D, 4x plus 22. Find x, angle B, and angle D. So, since angle B and angle D, they are supplementary, their sum is 180 degrees. Alright? So, yung angle A and angle D, congruent yan. Pero pag angle A and angle C, supplementary. So, the sum of 3x plus 4 and 4x plus 22 is 180 degrees. 7x plus 26 equals 180. 180 minus 26 is 154 divided by 7, 22 degrees. That's the value of x, 22. So we can now solve for angle B and angle D just by substitution. So here for angle B, 3 times 22, 66 plus 4, 70 degrees. Angle D, 88 plus 22, 110 degrees. So, that's correct. 110 plus 70 is 180 degrees. Given isosceles trapezoid ABCD, AD is congruent to BC. Prove that angle A and angle C are supplementary, angle B and angle D are supplementary. So, number 1, AD is congruent to BC, given. Angle A and angle D are supplementary. Angle B and angle C are supplementary. If two parallel lines are cut by transversal, yes, then the interior angle of the same side of the transversal are supplementary. So, bale dito yung AD yung transversal na yan. So, they are supplementary. Now, angle A plus angle D is equal to 180 degrees. Angle A is congruent to angle B. Yes, angle C is congruent to angle D. Definition of, yes, base angles of an isosceles trapezoid are congruent. Angle A is congruent to angle B. Angle C is congruent to angle D. Definition of congruent angles. Angle A plus angle C equals 180 degrees. Angle B plus angle D equals 180 degrees. Substitution. Therefore, number 3. Okay. Angle A and angle C are supplementary. Angle B and angle D are supplementary. Definition of supplementary angles. Yan ang proof. Now we proceed to kites. We're now through with parallelograms and trapezoids. Let us also discuss the different properties of kites. So a kite is a quadrilateral with two pairs of congruent adjacent sides, but with no congruent opposite sides. Yan. So yung adjacent ng kite equal. Unlike sa parallelogram, yung opposite sides ang equal. So example here in kite ABCD, AB is congruent to BC, AD is congruent to CD. So the two pairs of congruent sides are adjacent. So given in kite ABCD, AB is congruent to BC, AD is congruent to CD. Major diagonal is called the longer diagonal, BD. Ito yung major diagonal. Yung basta yung longer, major. Tapos yung minor diagonal naman, the shorter diagonal is AC. Now let's go to the properties of kite. The major diagonal is perpendicular bisector of the minor diagonal. Yes, here, let's go back here. Here, BD is the perpendicular bisector of AC. Okay, why? Because it bisects AC at point O. That means AO is equal to OC. At the same time, AC is perpendicular to BD. They form right angles, 4 right angles. Yeah. The major diagonal divides the kite into two congruent triangles, triangle BAD and triangle BCD. Correct. The major diagonal divides a pair of opposite angles. Angle ABD is congruent to angle CBD, and angle ADB is congruent to angle CDB. And the area of a kite is half the product of the length of its diagonals. Yeah. So let's try to copy here. Ay, hindi natin makakopy. Mahirap makopy. Oh, sorry. Escape natin. Okay, nasaan na ba tayo? Yan, dito na tayo sa kite. Sorry about that. So, we are now on the properties of kite. Yon. Major diagonals, perpendicular bisector of the minor diagonal. Tapos yung major diagonal divides the kite into two congruent triangles. And the major diagonal divides a pair of opposite angles. And the area of a kite is half the product of the length of its diagonal. Examples na tayo. For number 1, we have here the kite ABCD. If AB is equal to 4, find BC. Yeah, since AB and BC are adjacent sides, they are congruent. At least in a kite. So BC is also equal to 4. That's a solution. Letter B. Kite ABCD is okay. AD is congruent to CD. If AD is 7, what is CD? It's also 7. Yes, they are equal because they are adjacent sides in a kite. C. AO is 9. Find OC. Okay. From the property of a kite, OC is also equal to 9. Yes. Kasi ano yan by means of the major diagonal BD, it divides AC into two congruent sides, yung AO and OC. Yes. Kasi perpendicular bisector yung BD na yan. Now, if AO is x minus 5, OC is 2x minus 12, find x, AO, and OC. That's easy. AO is congruent to OC. That's the solution. So, equate mo lang. X is equal to 7. Therefore, AO is 2. And OC is 14 minus 12, 2 also. So, they are equal to. Kite ABCD, angle ABD is congruent to angle BCD, ADB is congruent to CDB. Find, if measure of angle ABD is angle 60 degrees, find the measure of angle BCD. Of course, they are equal, 60 degrees also the measure. B, if ADB, measure of angle ADB is 3x minus 17, angle CDB is 2x minus 7, find x, angle ABD, and angle CDB. Okay, angle ADB is congruent to angle CDB. So, equate natin, x is equal to 10. Yan. Angle ADB is 13 degrees. Just substitute the value of x. 30 minus 17 is 13. Yan. 20 minus 7 is 13 degrees. Now, theorems on kite. The area of kite is half the product of the lengths of its diagonals. Okay. Formula, area of the kite is equal to 1/2 times the product of the two diagonals. Now, in kite ABCD, find the area of the kite given BD 12 cm, AC 20 cm. Bale, AC is 20 cm, yan yung major diagonal. BD, yan yung minor diagonal. Just multiply these two diagonals divided by 2. That will be the area of the kite. Yan, 12 times 20 to 40 divided by 2 is 120 cm squared. Is the area of the kite whose lengths of the diagonals are given. Okay, did you get it? It's easy. So the diagonals of a kite are perpendicular. Let us try to prove this. Given kite ABCD, prove DB is perpendicular to AC. Excuse me. Here, in kite ABCD, DB here is perpendicular to AC. Okay, prove natin yan. Given kite ABCD is given, AD is congruent to DC, AB is congruent to BC, definition of kite. AD is equal to DC, AB is equal to BC, definition of congruent segments. DB is perpendicular to AC, converse of perpendicular bisector theorem. If a point is equidistant from the endpoints of a segment, then the point is on its perpendicular bisector. Yan, that's a proof. Okay, we're now through with the discussion on the different theorems on trapezoid and kites. Exercises. Okay, we have here trapezoid love with the median IN. Name the trapezoid. Love. Name the two diagonals OE and segment LV. Number 3, name the parallel sides. OB is parallel to LE. Yes, those are the two bases. Number 4, name the two bases OB and LE segment. Number 5, name the two pairs of congruent angles. Angle O is congruent to angle B. Angle L is congruent to angle E. Number 6, name two pairs of opposite angles. Yan. Angle O opposite to angle E. Angle L opposite to angle B. Number 7, name two pairs of supplementary angles. Angle O and angle E are supplementary. Angle L and angle B are supplementary. Number 8, IN is the midline. Midline, median, okay, midline segment, pareho rin. Midsegment, parang. Okay, the same lang yun. Number 9, name the congruent sides. Of course, the legs are equal. LO is congruent to BE. And is this a trapezoid are an isosceles, yes or no? Yes, it's an isosceles trapezoids because the legs are congruent. Also in trapezoid, height, name the kite. Height, name the major diagonal AE, name the minor diagonal HT, name two pairs of congruent adjacent sides HA and AT, HT and TE, there are congruent sides. Number 5, name two congruent triangles. triangle HAE and triangle TAE. And number 6, name two pairs of opposite angles. Angle H and angle T, angle A and angle E. What is the area of the kite? 1/2 times the product of the two diagonals. Is the area of the kite. Next, using the figure, answer the following. Number 1. If BI is 12, MS is 14, what is OE? The median. It's easy. 12 plus 14. 26 divided by 2 is 13. Next, number 2. If O is 10, IB is 11, find MS. Just multiply the median by 2. So, 10 times 20. 10 times 2, 20 minus 11. 9. Next, if BO is 20, number 3. BO is 9, find BM. 9 plus 9 lang. 18. Number 4. If BS is 20, find IM. It's also 20. They are equal. If angle MBI is 60 degrees, find angle MSI. Okay, I think there are supplementary. So 180 minus 60 is 120 degrees. Okay, find the area of the following using the figure below. Show your solutions. For number 1, the isosceles trapezoid mass. Okay, that's the formula. Just add the two lengths of the bases multiplied by the height divided by 2. So, yun. 10 plus 24, 34 times 5 divided by 2. 85. 85 square inches. Okay, same. 28 times 7 divided by 2. 98 square inches. So, ito naman sa kite save, just multiply the diagonals divided by 2. 15 times 10, 150 divided by 2, 75 square inches. Ito naman, 36 times 26 divided by 2. It's 468 centimeters squared. Yan. Now, in trapezoid gobs, find the following, show your solution. Yan. Okay, since show your solution ito, okay, I need your solution. I need you to show your solution. So, I'll just show you the answer and show me the solution. So, you just send your answer in the messenger. Yan, ito na yung answer. Escape natin. Hindi na mababasa yan. Cut. Paste. Here. So, ito yung answer for 1 to 4. And all you have to do is to show the solution for each number. Yan. Just apply the properties of trapezoid. Okay? Meron pa dito. Show your solution. Given kite prey, find the following and show your solution. Okay? Show the answer, show your solution. And send your answer in a private message. Yan. You can screenshot on this part. Okay, just apply the different theorems on trapezoid, and then kite. Yan. Okay. Thank you very much for listening. Have you screenshotted on this part? Okay, screenshot. Tapos na. Ito naman. Screenshot. Thank you very much for listening, and then I'll see you again next time. Goodbye.